All right, hey guys, let's see. We got microphone working, sound, songs, desktop sound looks a little bit high. Turn that down. Okay, that looks pretty good. How's it going, everybody? I see Jeremiah and Spicy Tuna Rolls in the audience already. Good to see you guys. Sorry about the pretty much entire month off, I guess. Hope everybody's had a good most of September so far. Mine's been mostly good. I'd say mostly good. There were some rough moments, but got a big old pile of stuff to go through today. Some of it in the back here you already saw. That's just the Chinese stuff. Just adding into the collection here, and then a couple new things. Some of it, this one box, this is for me, but it's part of what's going to be dinner tonight, so we'll open that whole box together. And then the rest of the stuff here, the other two things, these are for the museum. So there's some interesting stuff I can't wait to share with you guys. How you guys been? I know in between the last episode and this one, we had on my end Burning Man. Let me turn that so there's no showing addresses. So that was a huge part of where I've been the last couple weeks. Usually go out almost half a week in advance, almost a week in advance, over half a week, and get things up and running. Then go out, start stuff 2 or 3 days before the gates open, build for days, stay out there for almost 2 full weeks, take everything down, pack everything up, bring everything back, store it, all that fun stuff. So it's pretty crazy stuff. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of what we build. Wait, which is which? Why is this signed in? Odd. My personal photos account signed in under the museum browser. Just confused me for a second. All right. So get this showing. All right, let's make sure I still have the mic and everything hooked up here. Looks good. Hey, we got Mike jumping in and MFOs. Welcome, guys. Spicy says had a nasty heat wave there in California the past few weeks, but it's cooled down. Temperatures going back up to the mid-90s again. Oh, this week it cooled down, but it's going to go back up. Yeah, I've not been outside much since I got home, so it's been AC for me. But so this is our little living room, faces the street, has a wooden couch. Usually there's more chairs in there, but we must have moved them back for dinner or something. Just keeps you out of the sun for most of the afternoon. Nice little spot, and it's right on the street for people watching, which is key at Burning Man. There's crazy folks and vehicles going by. This was our overall camp. So when I say we went out there and built, this is what I mean. We're making these temporary structures and surviving 70-mile-an-hour winds and ridiculous dusty whiteouts and trying to do our thing, which is put people inside these balls over here and let them bounce around, sometimes fight. We've got a bar in the middle in this dome. And then this smaller dome is just kind of a cozy spot. But yeah, we fit all that on this horrible truck. I don't like that truck. So yeah, that's my big pink box truck. Sits out in Nevada, only gets used for this. But that's what we put together. We're our little spots. So yeah, we're ratcheting stuff into the ground and assembling things, and it's a pretty cool place. All right, let's see, transition back there. Yeah, the allergies, they can definitely be a problem, and it is dust. It's fine talcum powder, and it's very alkali. I mean, it is alkali powder, so it's extremely basic on the pH scale. So it screws with all kinds of things. If you leave it on your skin and it gets damp, it can start pitting and eating into your skin. It'll eat metal. It'll eat fabric. It'll rust things very quickly. Yeah, and we go there on purpose. Every now and then when it's the worst, the worst conditions, it's 105, and the dust is blowing, and I'm sitting somewhere with someone who's just absolutely miserable, I'll look them in the eye and say, we did this on purpose. Just to reiterate the point. We could be at Disneyland and we'd spend less effort and probably less money. But no, we're out here on the surface of Mars attempting to survive for 2 weeks. Most years recently it's been pretty nice, weather-wise. But this year was a reminder that it's not always going to be good weather. This was mostly, it was hot the entire way through. There was never a day where it broke. So there was never a day that dipped into the 80s or even the low 90s. From the moment the sun was up, it was hot. I made 2 streams again. I didn't do, oh, yeah, I probably did. So there's the broken one and there's this one. Let me see if I can end the other one. I don't know, I'm terrible. Why is that? Okay. Okay, this browser's crashed. God dang it. So I'll have to just keep going, I guess. Fix it later. How far am I into this? Yeah, I can fix the title later. But I'm going to have to stop this from running. In the meantime, stop the other one. That might explain some things. It wasn't signed in when I got back here. I screwed something up. I swore I had it all ready to go, but sorry. Anybody who's in the other chat, please tell them to come over. They won't refresh, and then Smokey will probably find out one in a few hours and stay there. Hope not, but I guess I'm going to try and get rid of it. No, I'm in the wrong account. This is painfully slow. I know I need to replace the at-museum computer at some point, but I'm about to shift over into hopefully doing quite a bit from home. back to back to back. The goal is going to be a lot of 3D stuff in the next phase. Let's see. So I got Bulletin 84 paratrooper ration. Yep, that's wrong. So let's see. So are you saying there's another video that's currently running that's 85, right title, and just says, waiting to stream? Come on, go a little faster, YouTube. Like, it's just been this whole time just waiting for the homepage to load. I guess it's because I'm streaming to it. Okay, here we go. Now, does that mean, is it even live over on Twitch? I can always just start on over there. I mean, overall. And then that one would pick up. I think it's running over there. But, it's going to take 8 years to find out. No, that's not a nitpick. That's a good call out that it's broken. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. I got to get the title from this one, copy it over to the other one, and then cancel the one that's currently running. It shouldn't take too long, just however long each of these page loads take. Hey, Quint, good to have you. Well, I don't want to keep everybody waiting on the website on the web load, or web. It is a case of the Mondays. My brain is not firing. All right, got this open, saving this. Just give me one more minute, and then we're going to jump into mail call, and mail call is going to be some pretty exciting stuff. There's something in the pile here that's going into the collection that seriously one of the most simultaneously impressive and unimpressive things. So what it actually is and where it's been, mind blowing. But what it is, that's the stuff of why we are, who we are as ration collectors, and the oddities that we are a fan of. So, delete. This one I tried to save. Cannot save until errors are resolved. What errors? No, not made for kids. All right. I mean, not that it's specifically not a kids program, but there's really it's not like a direct educational content. I'm not going into, anywhere near as much detail as like Steve at the beginning or end of one of his videos about, the stuff that I'm opening up. I'll certainly go on tangents and try and answer questions and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't say it's directly, all the time educational content. And every once in a while, my brain doesn't remind me not to swear. So, I'll say it's not a kid's show. All right, so now, let's see, did this work? Now it should say Bulletin 85 if anybody refreshes. Yeah, okay. And there we go. So we've got Bulletin 85. First food to leave Earth orbit. So without further ado, let's take a gander. I'm going to jump right into that. I got boxes all over here because I'm going to be taking some extra stuff home this time. Okay, so just going to go right along one side here. Sort of, kind of. So I take it from this and from what all this was sold with, that this was a state auction, that this was part of lot 941, or was lot 941. So it says space food. Is this readable? There we go. Space food recovered from Apollo 8 capsule after moon flight in December 1960. Cube chicken. And inside we have a cube of chicken. So it's nothing quite as impressive as an entire pouched meal segment or an entire multi-piece meal like we have from Gemini in terms of the actual presentation of the thing. You know, this is pretty unassuming. This little tube with a little cube inside, but what it is, is the first food to break gravity, and head out into open space, and then enter the gravity of another body, and the first food to travel anywhere near as fast as the speeds that were necessary to break out of orbit. First food to orbit the moon. First flight that ever went beyond the back of the moon. Orbited it, I want to say, 8 times. And during that orbit was Christmas Day, 1968. And I want to say maybe it was at the beginning of Christmas Day or the end of Christmas Day is when they headed back to Earth, broke orbit with the moon, and injected back into Earth orbit. So it was like a 10 orbits. Thanks, Amelie. It was part of the stages leading up to the Apollo 11 mission, to test all the different pieces of the operation at least once before the final show. So Apollo 8, 9, 10, they were all different chunks, between just the orbiter module, the orbiter and lander module, decoupling, reconnecting, and going together on the trip. These were essential stepping stones to eventually getting man on the moon in 1969. And the timing of all this stuff was just ridiculous. They ended up scrapping a number of missions that were going to be happening, between what was Apollo 7 and what became Apollo 8. There were going to be a number of missions to actually send equipment up to try the orbital injection and return, but we had never done that. Like, we had never actually had anything, manned or unmanned, go out and orbit the moon and come back. So it was all crammed into like a 6-month development timeline or an 8-month development timeline from when they decided what was going to be in the actual Apollo 8 versus what was supposed to be in it. It was all reaction to Russians, trying to beat Russians to doing the same thing. So anyway, good seeing you, Quinn. Have a good one. Get some rest, or watch the rest later. Oh, work. Yeah, you said you got to get back to work, but still appreciate you coming by. So now we've got food. Well, we had food from the Apollo program, but probably hadn't flown, and we do have a little plate that identifies that item, so we can eventually talk to someone, hopefully, that has access to better records than we do, that can see if there's any information about that particular item. And at some point, we're going to need to go in depth on this particular item and see if there's anybody who can corroborate this. It's such a specific thing. The labeling, everything about the actual item. To me, it's there's no reason not to think it's genuine. It's not something that gets faked. It's not something there's a huge, crazy following after, specifically like Apollo food. Plus, I got this for basically nothing. So that's generally not the case with space food at all, let alone, forgery item. But again, it's something that when we have access to folks with better records, it would be neat to find out, were there any items that were taken out? Were they passed out to people? Was it a souvenir? Is there a picture of anything like this? In the Smithsonian or NASA's archives or something. Okay, so this was an item I bought a couple months ago, actually. Amelie found this and sent it my way, and I snagged it off of British eBay and sent it to a mutual acquaintance over there, Jim, and this got forwarded on. And speaking of a good deal, this one was one that I hadn't seen over here for anywhere near this price. In the end, this was like $35 or something like that, but then it cost another $40 to ship, so it wasn't, fell off the back of a truck level pricing, but still, for what it is, I think it was a pretty darn good deal. Okay, that's it. That's padding. Just make sure. Yep. That was wrapped really well in terms of just, for general nicks and stabs or anything on the box, but here we go. Here's a full yellow HDR. It is open, but it has its contents. So let's take a look at those. Trying to remember just how this went back together, so I can put it back nice. All right, so we've got the original packaging. Well, not original, no. These came out in the 90s, and this is somewhere in the middle. Or did they come out in the 80s? I know there were a number of different versions that were short run, darker packaging. There was the clear variety that wasn't exactly an HDR or HDR. It was a humanitarian ration packet or something like that. But so we've got a bean salad, which is still an entree today. We've got lentils and vegetables. Also, well, we got a lentil stew now, pretty much. Got the notorious fruit bar. Notorious in a good way. That thing gets better with age. Got a nice pack of HDR crackers. And let's look at the labeling on these, because it's really nice. It's the bright red, white, and blue. just the HDR, instead of humanitarian daily ration. So AmeriQual did this set specifically. The peanut butter and jam really haven't changed in the last 20 years. So this has got 2 packets of strawberry jam and 1 packet of peanut butter. The calorie weights of these have changed. The peanut butter that comes in the current ones is smaller, 160 calories versus 240 or 260. So this is 260, and I want to say the new ones are either 170 or 160. I think 160. Hey Bob, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Got Robert Sourwine. Got raisins. All this seems to be in great shape. I bet this one would be, edible. The mains are drier than the modern salad, bean salad and stuff. There's less, it feels like there's less gloopiness to it, or there's less give to the package, but it feels solid inside. It doesn't feel like it's that way because it's bloated. So the drier they are, the more likely that they're going to be fine. The raisins are probably all one piece, but I can feel them in there, so that seems all right. Crackers would be fine. The fruit bar would be fantastic. We've got the rest of this. So we've got a 2000 style heater, dated 30th day of 2001. Let's see what other dates we've got on here. We've got the 13305B. So never mind, that's not a usable one. We got 13243B. Again, not a format that we can work with. 1316A might be the 316th day. 1312. Weren't these like fall of 2001 was the yellow phase? It would make sense the heaters aren't super fresh. See, so these are stamped 1106 1 T T4A. Yeah, these, it's never super simple to get dating info out of these. I will get better at that. I'm sure there's a trick to it, if it's possible. Maybe you just need a sheet to compare things to. Not everything is going to match up against a calendar in terms of like manufacturers dating codes on stuff. For all I know, that could be, between, these 10,000 was on this particular day. You just need the sheet to know or something. All right, and then we got the accessory packet. So we can see we got a packet of sugar, we've got a pack of matches, we've got a moist towelette, and then on this side we've got ground crushed red pepper and a long, dare I say, Canadian style, or potentially even same super long thin spoon that would almost certainly shatter if I gave it any torque. All right, well, there we go. That's the yellow HDR, which appears to have survived just fine. Hopefully I can keep it that way. See how this is going. Something like that. No, it wasn't exactly like that, but should be all right. Got a bit of a bump there. these were the short-lived variety that were roughly the same size and were the same color as cluster munitions that we were dropping in Middle East after we engaged post 9/11, and these were what was in stock for dropping as aid at the time in early 2002 and going into, well, I don't think they continued on in 2003 with the yellow ones, but going into 2002, that's what was in stock and that's what got dropped. And yeah, they were the same rough size and shape as cluster munitions, which sometimes didn't detonate. And notoriously, kids would be sent out to pick up these packets of food in case they were bombs, and some kids were killed. You know, so the story goes. I've seen it in official documentation, so I take it as fact that it happened. At this point, it's just I don't have exact dates or numbers of dead or anything like that. But hey, we got Rocker Something Reviews jumping in. We got Xenosaga. Good to have both of you. Mike, okay, see you in a bit. So that's so far. We've got the chunk of chicken from Apollo 8 and a yellow HDR. Both, in my opinion, very fun things to be adding into the museum collection. So far, the only yellow HDR that I've got was the one that Steve reviewed a number of years back. He sent the empty packages from the one he reviewed, including the yellow outer one, and it was perfect for display. So that one, plus this one, now we've got a full example as well. And I wasn't sure if the one he sent had anything left from the accessory packet. So that's another plus here. Okay, so we've got another box. So this one's not necessarily for the museum. Bob, it's good you're here. I know we texted about it, but now I'll be able to go menu by menu and pick which one of these is going to be headed your way. I'm going to eat one today and send you one, and then the rest are going in my future pile. Ooh, hey. So I got these from Prado over on MRE Info, Alexi, and he tossed in a couple candy bars. I want to say these are both Polish. But definitely going to be eating one of both of those today. Hey, Kaylynn, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. And hopefully I'm not missing a bunch of messages. I've got it on this, in chat thing. So if you guys ask me something and I don't respond, just go ahead and assume that there's something wrong and say it again. Or somebody else feel free to be like, hey, you didn't answer such and such. Because certainly there's not so much going on that I shouldn't be able to see and respond to you guys. So if that ever happens, just do that. I'll say that once in a while, and then I don't have to worry so much about the chat not being 100% insane. Just stop me if I'm not responding to somebody. So this for sure Polish, says Kaylynn, and I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. That one product of Poland for sure. Oh, doing so much. All right, and then this one. Let's jump right to that. Yeah, it's also Poland. So this one looks kind of powdery. You know what? I'm going to open this. I don't know what this is. And it bends. It's not. Well, actually, it does break. Huh. It's hard to really see it. Ooh! It's like all wafer and icing, kinda. It's like if somebody emulsified one of those layered wafer cookies that's like a little lattice work, you know, super thin, crispy, and then icing or filling. You know, if somebody took one of those and just emulsified it and pressed it into a bar, that's what this tastes like. Oh, okay, this is halva. I've had this before. So this is vanilla flavored sesame halva. Okay. I bet you this is very calorie dense. From the side, it almost looks, whoop, it's hard to tell. Almost looks like tearing into drywall. But yeah, it's halva, which I'm always a fan. I don't have it often, so it's easy to forget. Yeah, you can see how it tears. And it's got the slightest, you know, oiliness to it. This is fantastic. So thank you, Prado. Very much appreciated. There we got Christine jumping in. Zeno. Yeah, that was halva, which is basically pureed sesame seeds and not much else. And sugar, I'm sure, you know. Egg white. So it was sesame paste, glucose syrup, sugar, vegetable fat, salt, dried egg white, flavoring. Sesame fudge is a good term for it. All right. So, Bob, let me know which one jumps out at you, because any of them are on the table. We've got chili, vegan chili. So, over here, chili stew vegan. So I got 2 of those. And I forget, if you already picked one, just let me know. But otherwise, you get to see all of them and tell me which one, because I'm grabbing the Hungarian one while I'm here, and I got the Lithuanian, so I got your box ready to go. All right, so they're the 2 vegan ones, vegan meat ones. I think we're all vegetarian. So here we go. We've got, come on, blueberry and vanilla muesli, which has got blueberry and vanilla muesli, dark chocolate, peanuts, energy drink, spoon, disinfectant wipes, Ziploc bag, coffee, chewing gum. And these are single meals, so chili's got chili stew, vegan, salted peanuts, sweets, energy drink, spoon, disinfectant wipe, etc. We got sports muesli. It's got sports muesli, dark chocolate, sweets, energy drink. bar. Steak bar. Yeah, and that's in all 3 languages, 4 languages. No, wait, okay, so what is it in German? Nope. Don't know. But in everything else, steak bar, steak bar, steak bar. Maybe it's jerky of some kind? No, because it's vegetarian. Then it's got a different sports muesli. It's got sports muesli, whole wheat bread, energy drink, dark chocolate nuts, or dark chocolate with nuts in it. Fruit soup. Well, I definitely have to. I think I gotta call dibs on this thing. Muesli with berries. See, this one's got muesli with berries, dark chocolate, hot chocolate, dried fruit, energy drink, spoon, etc. Steak bar. Jack Link's steak bar. So maybe this isn't vegetarian. Maybe it's just that it's breakfast. Yeah, I don't think it's... Okay, no, it doesn't say vegetarian on it. It just happens to not be a meat meal, but it's got a steak bar. Interesting. All right, Robert Sauerline, you still in here? Otherwise, I'll dig through texts. I'm sure we talked about it recently. Actually, no, we did. Let's see. Ooh, I must have missed these pictures. I know you were saying you were going to send them. The World War I regiment decorated China. Yeah, we'll have to talk on that. That's definitely good looking. See, Christine says, I have the chicken and lime and cod and curry sauce stashed away. Ooh, those sound really good. Yeah, I was not quick to the, pickup process with these this time around, so by the time I talked to him, he had sold off. He had to, I think in the beginning, like 30 something of these. He sold off more than half of them. So let's see. Just want to make sure I don't eat one today that he picked out. Says he likes breakfast. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying. So of these 6, pick yours, and then I can then I know what not to eat for the meal. So we have sports muesli that's got let's see, wheat bread, fruit soup, dark chocolate, energy drink, and nut cream. I assume is peanut butter for the bread. Another sports muesli. This one's got a steak bar in it. That's why that was interesting. Dark chocolate, sweets, energy drink, steak bar. And then there was this muesli with berries that had dark chocolate, hot chocolate, dried fruit, energy drink, spoon, etc., etc. And then, so they don't say vegetarian. Got it. This one does. This is blueberry and vanilla muesli with dark chocolate, peanuts, energy drink. Wait, is that it? Muesli, dark chocolate, peanuts, energy drink. Yeah, okay. And then 2 of these vegan chili that have the chili, peanuts, sweets, energy drink. I think you had said you wanted the breakfast. So, one with the meat bar. Done and done. And that's one that's like vacuumed in pretty good. So, good choice. All right, I'll put this to the side. Now, of what I got left, the other sports muesli was interesting. I had whole wheat bread and nut cream, so peanut butter, and the energy drink, and dark chocolate, and a fruit soup. But I kind of want to see what this vegan chili looks like. It's dinner time. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the vegan chili. And the rest of these coming on home, which means they may pop up on future from home streams. Almost certainly will. All right. This is quite the unmitigated disaster here. It's just a heap of stuff around me, but like I said, I'm just prepping to pull stuff out of here. It's all the like photography stuff. At this point, rather than keep setting it up, tearing it down, setting it up, tearing it down, I'm going to have a spot at home that's set up for 3D scanning, and I'm going to bring things to it. Plus that also means that when I come here, I can come here anytime in the week or every couple weeks and just exchange some boxes, park briefly, grab some stuff. So speaking of parking, today I am paid up through 7:20 p.m. It's 5:54, so paid up through the end of the stream and beyond. I don't know if I'll make it till 7 o'clock tonight. Stream-wise, I'm just going to jump into eating this bad boy, and then we will probably wrap up at that point. Just getting back into the swing of things, but for the most part, I want to start the process of handing things off, get a better setup going at home, and start scanning a lot more stuff. So I've been messing around with 3D engine development, and I'm going to continue to. So I'll get the early version of the online museum running. It'll be in VR. So it's going to take a little bit, but I've started. So I've been able to make some rooms, get them into VR, and just kind of messing around with it. And next will be bringing in some basic scans, and then making them interactable, making them able to be interacted with, and going from there. It's going to be a fun journey. Just something to do on the side while I start to hunt for a town that wants a museum badly enough to help us get to town or help us with a property, which that would be ideal. If there's a place that's just looking for another, stable, generally interesting kind of thing for tourists when they're in the area that maybe has a similar focus or, has some connection. So maybe a military base. That would be an interesting idea that I actually hadn't thought of till now. But maybe a military base would be an interesting spot for one. But say a city that manufactures rations or some major chunk of things for rations, or a city with some historic or battlefield museums or context in general that people visit for history-related reasons. Historic places in the U.S., or then there's just general tourist destinations that have a lot of foot traffic and are always looking for interesting stuff to keep people, going around the local area and, getting lunch or doing shopping in between daily activity. Their tourist activities like going and checking out little museums. Philly has a ton of that stuff, but Philly isn't necessarily where I want to continue to to be in terms of running the museum and just making it accessible to people. So gonna look at all kinds of places. hopefully find a town that wants to say, hey, we've got a building lease for X amount versus what it would cost to go get something like this commercially. But the stipulations are, you maintain the building, you're open to the public a certain amount of time, etc. Yeah, the Midwest is a possibility. Evansville, Indiana, is on the possibility pile in the sense that AmeriQual's based there. But there's all kinds of places. Giannis Brothers, aren't they in Kansas City? Wouldn't mind having some direct connection to Giannis Brothers Packaging. They're prolific. I want to say they're Kansas City. I'm probably wrong. For some reason that sticks in my head. There's all kinds of museums. There's a fantastic World War II history museum in Chicago. There's all kinds of places where people are already coming to the area for a particular type of destination or tourism that might also be interested in checking out something like this. And in those cases, maybe the town council or the Chamber of Commerce would say, yeah, we're willing to go through a couple layers of help for somebody who's willing to bring something like that to town. And then, then we're off to the races. Then we've got a space that we can more permanently move into. So that's the goal in terms of where the effort's going to go over the coming months. Is this 3D scanning project and trying to find a better spot. Because now that we've got the collection all basically 95+% cataloged and online, it's a heck of a lot easier to say, this is what we have, this is what we're preserving. It's not hypothetical. You can just keep on clicking for forever, just looking item by item by item by item. And if you don't want to see those things go away and break down and get lost to time, then help us get to where we're going. That's the message, and that's why we took the last year and a half to make the collection website and the master catalog and the photograph. 1,000+ things. All right, so I'm gonna grab the. Well, actually, let's open this up first. Let's see what I am gonna need, and then I'll go grab the water boiler thing, kettle, and whatever else we need. So it's gonna have energy drink, but actually does it have coffee? It does. Okay, so we're gonna have the coffee. All right, so these, if I recall, these are peel top. So let's get a little closer to this. Come out with that. All right, so just take this off as clean as I can. There we go. So we've got the real meal. Enjoy your meal and carry on. Doesn't quite have the same ring as keep calm and carry on, but I'll take it. So this is this is the Norwegian word for chili stew. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I learned I don't pronounce basically anything from the region correctly. That's all right. So we're going to need, let's see, 70 to 100 C. So I guess that would be centiliters, and centiliters and millimeters are the same thing. So, or milliliters. Wait, no, centiliters and milliliters are not the same thing. Centiliters are 10 milliliters. So wait, that would mean 700 to 1,000, and that's not right. Oh, add water that's 70 to 100 C. It's a Monday. I'm sorry. So yeah, there's a fill line. It's not giving me a volume. It's giving me a temperature. So close to boiling is fine. So we'll get boiling water, filtered fill line. We've got a pack of lemon hard candies or citron hard candies if there's a difference. Yeah, 100 Celsius is boiling. So I know. I'm sorry, guys. All right, we've got Colombian freeze-dried instant coffee. We've got a moist towelette. Got a pack of roasted and salted peanuts. We've got our energy drink, which same thing. We got a fill line on this, not an amount. We've got just a bag. Got an unassuming white spoon, and we have a piece or 2 pieces of chewing gum. Let's see if I can move this a little further back without messing it up too much. There we go. Energy drink with a taste of lemon. All right, so I will be right back. Give me a moment. I'm going to grab some water, and we will go from there. All right, I'm back. All right, so, oh, bye, Bob. All right, so first we're going to fill the energy drink. Before I heat up the water. All right, so that's crystallized steel. Not bad. So this is a gusseted pouch. I wonder how well it will stand. We are going to fill it to about that mark. So the US one, I would reseal and I would shake it vigorously. With this, well, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's all right. Oh no, it's not. It's definitely leaking on me. Is that from the corner? Is that from the top? Can't tell. Oh, just a little energy drink. All right, and then the rest of this we're gonna hop over here and get boiling. So let's grab a tray, start transferring all this stuff there. Oh, I packed this table too full. Put the meal pouch back here, or the drink pouch over here. Should probably stand up. There we go. Don't need that. Do have coffee coming. That did have a satisfying little hiss opening up. These are different. These are hard. But good. They're very, very smooth feeling. I don't know, they're like more completely dry roasted than I'm used to, maybe. But I like them. They're good. So that was the Shawker peanuts, roasted and salted. The ingredients are peanuts roasted and salted. That's it. Well, then this says rice bran oil and salt. Okay. So oil from rice bran. Welcome back. So we've also got citron hard candy. No, don't need quite that many right this moment. Really good flavor. Okay, we got our Polder Mill Colombian freeze-dried coffee. This does not come with any cream or sugar. got our main entree. That tear above the. Ooh, did you hear that? Because it's a wide seal there, it pulled in all at once. That was an interesting sound. Really nice color to it. Got it loosened from the corners. Actually, yeah, these are pretty good at not having corners. They have a cupped base that goes up into the edges there and keeps it from having these corners where food would get stuck. So up in on both sides there. All right, so we're gonna see where is the fill line. It says mix, then eat. Yep. So I think I'm looking for a fill line on the inside here, but I'm not spotting one. Oh. Okay, there we go. Fill line on the outside right there. I'm just going to give it a solid bend right there. Make it a little bit easier to see that line. There we go. All right, get that mixed up. All right, get that mixed up okay. Let's try and get this resealed. Not always so easy, but that one went together all right. And let's pour some coffee. So I brought another spoon. I'm glad I did because you know, this one already reminiscent of the chili, and we got enough water left. Very nice cup of coffee. Oddly enough, this one says it's not halal, that it is gluten-free, lactose-free, and vegetarian. I wonder what wouldn't be halal about it. So that's going to take a little while. So let's tuck in on some more of the peanuts. Yeah, the entree is a vegan chili stew. 500 grams of it. So half a kilogram. So like energy value per 100 grams. This is 430. This says 580 grams, but 700 calories. Then up here, energy value per 100 grams, 430. I'm so confused. So then wouldn't this be over 2,000, which doesn't make any sense? I mean, it is a pound of food. Over a pound of food. All right, let's try this lemon flavored energy drink. A pouch of Gatorade. It seems odd that it would just be the certification, since DryTech is attached to the ability to certify. It does put out certified products. I mean, there's no meat. Yeah, it's 1 pound, 4 ounce. Got it. That makes sense. Right, because if it was 500, then it would be 1-1, wouldn't it? I don't know. Sports drink is good. I'm a fan. It's not too ridiculously sweet. It's basically the same exact flavor as these things. But I still don't quite understand this energy value per 100 grams, 430 calories. Never mind. Dry away. 163 grams. So, there we go. 163 times 430. Sorry, 1.63 times 430 would give you the 700. Okay. That makes much more sense now. Let's try this coffee. Ooh. Now, I've had this brand before. This, oh, what was it? That's a silly name. Polder Mill. Yeah, I had the Polder Mill Colombian coffee, freeze-dried stuff. I'm pretty sure recently I even got some in that Feast of the Holidays 24-hour MRE from Rachel. Just mixed in among all the other foreign bits and pieces. But it's a strong cup of coffee. You know, plus I'm drinking it black, so it's I'm used to pretty heavily lightening my coffee. But I hope I didn't miss or lose too many people by screwing up which stream I was starting. I swear I had that up and running right, but I didn't, or else it would have worked. I'm just wondering if there's anybody who thought it had been canceled, but it hadn't. this point. So let's see, Apollo 8, just while we're waiting on the food, marked the beginning of a new era in man's exploration of space and grabbed a handful of space firsts. First time humans had left orbit of the planet Earth. First time humans saw the entire planet at once. Yeah, because from Earth orbit, you can only see, a chunk going out to horizons in different directions, especially from the orbits in the Gemini program to date, and early Apollo. So you wouldn't have had a complete view where you can see just the planet, with space all the way around it. First time humans had not experienced a night with sunrises and sunsets. So yeah, even in orbit, you're gonna keep experiencing sunrise, sunset, no matter how fast you're going. You will eventually experience those. But when you're continuing in one direction away from the planet, you won't anymore. The sun will always be there. The Earth will always be there. In your vision or in your view. First time humans were exposed to raw solar radiation. Yeah, everything we tend to do is within the Earth's magnetic field. So there had to be a great deal more shielding to handle that kind of stuff. And it was just, kind of an experiment to see what the heck happened. First time astronauts experienced the full thrust of a fully loaded Saturn rocket, so 3.4 million kilograms of thrust. First time humans entered another gravitational field. First time humans orbited the moon. First time humans had been occulted moon? Maybe, yeah. Well, first time there were humans that were on the other side of the moon when looking from space. From Earth. First humans to see the backside of the moon. First humans to see an Earthrise from the moon. First to re-enter the atmosphere of Earth after leaving orbit of the moon. So yeah, that's a bunch of firsts. And the Russians were getting close too. They were docking and undocking, transferring crew in orbit, and putting up boosters and that kind of stuff. So this was the point when the space race went into extreme high gear in the U.S. Like I said earlier in the stream, they ended up skipping a whole number of missions and just jumping right ahead, and allowing Apollo 8 to be the proving ground for a lot of the technology. See, has it been about 10 minutes? I feel like it has. It's chilly, so always a little wary with beans. So I'm gonna stir it. Might have to let it go a little longer. So we got a bean there. I'll wait for that to cool down. It's like 90+%. I'll just give it another minute. See if we get some more Apollo 8 facts. So, that little chunk of chicken traveled 504,006 nautical miles. And a nautical mile, I want to say, is 1.18 miles. Let's double check that. This browser has crashed again temporarily. We'll just let that work itself out. Oh, wait, I'm missing something. Let's see. I wonder why so many rations don't contain creamer or sugar for the coffee. Yeah, you're a sugar only. Still, I mean, it is better with sugar or any sweetener. Yeah, like, in my head when I would serve just black coffee, when I used to work at Denny's, I'd always say, like, here's your bitter black water. Okay, this is cooked enough. But I've come to there's a dry pocket. There'll be a little bit of a crunch in there. Something didn't 100%, or not at all. Some little pocket of it didn't get damp. So we've got dry section. Includes some beans. I'll try and just get that crunch out of the way now. Miles to nautical miles. 1 mile is 0.86 nautical. So let's flip that. 504,060. 580,061 miles is the distance traveled by that chunk of chicken on the mission. Way too hot. Definitely burned myself a little there. He says, going right back in. The other thing is, technically, there's no food that's ever been further away from Earth than that chicken. Correction, that's on the Earth now. There's quite possibly something out there in space, drifting or intentionally sent out for some reason. But food that's on Earth right now, there's nothing that's ever been further away. So the moon is 238,855 miles away on its closest surface. The diameter of the moon is 2,159 miles. So we can say, well, that fits pretty well. So 200. So basically 241,000 miles away is how far that chicken was from the surface of the planet. So that's enough to go around Earth, I think, 10 times. Which brings me to another piece of, museum food history. The Gemini 4 ration. I would consider that. Well, actually, no, that's definitely not traveled the farthest. That did travel pretty far. The distance traveled by Gemini 4 was let's see, 1.398 million nautical miles, which converts to 1.608 or 1,608,789 miles was the it was the Gemini 4 mission that went around and around and around the Earth. I want to say 61 orbits. Oh, I'm on the 66 orbits completed. So that one traveled a great distance, but the food that's traveled the furthest would have to be the collection from Mir. It was up there for 6 months or more, circling the Earth over and over and over and over and over again for 6 full months. So we can figure that out. The Mir space station, when it was orbiting, was moving 4.778 miles per second, just all day long, in order to maintain orbit. So we have 4.778, and then let's say it was roughly 6 months. Well, no, let's not say roughly. Let's find David Wolf, astronaut. Let's see. Mir Expedition 24. Let's see. So he was on 2 Mir expeditions. And he spent 128 days on station for one of them. The other one, it looks like he might have only been there for the docking and some exercises. So he was there for 128 days. So we'll say 4.778 miles per second times 60 seconds in a minute times 60 minutes in an hour times 24 hours in a day times 128 days. So while the item that was flown to the moon and back traveled 230, the item that traveled to the moon and back traveled 580,000 miles. The item that circled the Earth in the Gemini 4 mission items, there's like 7 or so, traveled 1.6 million miles. But the far and away winner of traveled the most distance in the museum collection would be the items that were on board the Mir space station for 52,840,857 miles, give or take. So 52 million miles of orbital transit, plus, the time getting to the space station, coming back, when the shuttle's orbiting Earth as well, or the Soyuz, or whatever it is that was being used. Because usually that takes a day or so after launch to get orbits in alignment and actually dock. So most of the time when a space shuttle crew goes up to the space station, they don't just go up and dock. They're in the shuttle cabin, basically performing little adjustments for a day, a whole day. So, depending on the speed of that, which is going to be relatively similar, since they at the end they have to be going exactly the same speed in order to be still in space next to each other. You know, that probably was another couple 100,000 miles. This chili is really good. I should not just be straight up eating it without talking about it at all. So we've got lots of beans. So we've got big kidney beans. That was an uncooked kidney bean. Or are they chili beans? Let's check the recipe. Or I mean ingredients. Oh, thanks. Ingredients. Beans. Oh, you didn't say. They look like kidney beans. They taste like kidney beans. So I got beans, soy protein, which is soy, seasoning, salt, antioxidant. And then we've got onion, tomato paste, bell pepper, tomato, rapeseed oil, cornstarch, vegetable bouillon, which is salt, glucose syrup, yeast extract, onion, modified starch, maltodextrin, vegetable concentrate, seasoning, sugar, vinegar extract. And then we've got soy sauce, seasoning, garlic, chili powder, I assume, and an antioxidant are the up close. Anybody who wants to pause and review, but I always find it a little interesting, you know, the way folks break things down. But you know, seasoning as just a generic, and to see it in there 3 times, you know, it's pretty interesting. One we have over here that I see all the time that I'm always a little worried about is there's natural flavors. You know, just natural flavors. Just which ones? From what? Not that I'm too paranoid about it. I just mean it's always interesting what is chosen to be abbreviated or left to the imagination on ingredients. You know, and every country has their own laws around that. So what's the other? Oh, I guess soy protein. Okay, so I'm like looking at this, all these like little white chunks, or I guess the little granule looking chunks, sort of reddish tannish on there. I was like, what? You know, is it rice? Is it quinoa? Is it, you know, like I was thinking like brown rice or quinoa. That's the soy protein. That's the fake meat. It's you know, that textured vegetable protein, which I think presents a really good texture. You know, springy, crumbly. You know, it's good stuff. A lot of beans, definitely a lot of beans. You can taste the garlic. You can taste the tomato paste. And I see chunks of chili pepper. So like the actual chili pepper is what was listed, or what was meant when it was listing chili. You know, aside from that one dry pocket that I missed somehow, you know, it must have just been a chunk that just rotated, you know, or something by itself. Other than that, it rehydrated great. But you know, that's a neat, or less than neat surprise. It's a chunk uncooked like that. I thought I mixed it pretty well. was right in the middle. But I'm glad I ate that first because there hasn't been any more of it. And this has been quite enjoyable since, so I wouldn't want to be mixing bites of that and bites of this, or ending with the crunchy, uncooked beans. Spoke too soon. Got a big uncooked bean there. And another. I really like that. I'm glad I got 2 of those. I'll have another one of those somewhere cold, hopefully. But yeah, that was a really tasty ration. Just gonna finish up some of these peanuts. So we've got, ooh, I should have checked first. So we've got, does it say, oh, okay. 125 calories for the energy drink, 700 for the entree. Excuse me. This whole package of candy would be, so it's 50 grams per 100 is 400. So this is 800. Yeah. Oh no, this is half. So this is 200. 200 calories of candy. Probably only have a calorie or 2 in the coffee. See, now it drives me nuts. I say that as I'm holding these. It's always a little weird, and I bring it up a lot, when the nutrition information for foods is given in increments other than what the food is in. So, like, you know, this is easy enough, and so is the candy, because it's these are 50. This is a 50-gram package. So is the candy, and the increments in 100. So right here, it's 593 per 100. So still, you can't pick this up and look at it, see one number, and put it down. You have to do math. So, okay, there's half of that. So 250, 295, 299. Wait, no, that's not right. Is it? No, that's not right. See, now I'm 296.5. Is that right? 296.5. See, I mean, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, though. 593 divided by, wait, 593 divided by 2. Yeah, 296 even. But no, that's not. No, 296.5. Anyway, you know, you can't just look at something and know the calorie count. You got to do math on not everything, but a lot of stuff. And it's just a little weird. You know, it seems kind of backwards. Like, it's I mean, I'm not going to ascribe any ulterior motives to it, like it's trying to hide the calorie count from anyone. This generally happens in countries that are far and away, on average, healthier than the U.S. But it's just kind of bizarre to me versus what I'm used to seeing on food. So, anyway, we got the 296.5. Plus 200, plus 700, plus 125, plus, call it 5 for the remainder stuff. I mean, give or take, we're at 1,325 calories for the package. That's really good. That's quite a bit for a single meal. Now, granted, this is an Arctic meal, so this is an extra calorie ration versus, standard issue in non-Arctic conditions. Ooh, this is a really nice moist towelette. There's a whole lot of dampness to it. It's tough. It's big. Like, versus the food compartment, it's about the same size, but it's a big one and it's nice. And I got a bit of energy drink and chili paste, etc., on my hands, so this was perfect. Gonna have to finish the peanuts along with the candy a little later. Try out this gum. I mean, it's real gum. So it says by BIIB for real meal. It really doesn't taste good. I mean, it's spearmint, but it's bitter. Excessive consumption may produce laxative effects. Okay. I hope it's not excessive to eat one packet. All kinds of numbered ingredients. Sweeteners E420, E953, E965, E967, E951, and E950. So there's 6 types of sweetener in this. Now, normally you would see that when there's, caffeine introduced into the gum. But that's not the case here. Yeah, I don't know why it would need to be so over the top, extra flavored, or extra sweetened, and then still tasted bitter like that. So that's an odd one. Hey, James, just catching the very end. I'm finished with dinner, minus the rest of this coffee and heckle. I'm gonna ditch the bitter gum and get that back out with some peanuts. And some bitter coffee. Very dry, very hard peanuts, but good. Nothing wrong with them. Oh, I completely forgot to even mention. So last week I had intended to come back, but everything was here at the museum, and I tested positive for COVID that morning. So that was, or I guess the day before. Yeah. So that plan got shot in the foot because this is a shared office building. There's a bunch of people here. You know, it just wasn't. It wouldn't have been, you know, nice of me at all to show up, mask or no mask or whatever. Like it wouldn't have been very nice of me to show up when I knew I was, you know, carrying. So that makes 3 official times and 1 probably, but unable to be verified since it was before the outbreak in February 2020. But if that one was COVID as well, and I had been on an island with 4,000 people from all over the world, you know, in February 2020 and came back and was sick for 2 weeks, it probably was. So then there was that one. There was Thanksgiving last year, and there was May this year, and now again. So the gift keeps on giving. Here's hoping that this is the last time at all, you know, but we'll see. Either way, I feel totally fine already. I didn't really get a fever this time around. I did feel crappy. I did have some throat and head cold stuff going on, but overall it wasn't too bad this time. The one in May was just a high fever and nothing else, and that broke pretty quick, a couple days. I think 3 days with a fever. And then the one last fall, that was awful. That one was the only, so that was really bad. That was all kinds of lung issues and liquid semi-drowning. Yeah, it was awful. And then the first one back in February 2020, that was just like a bad flu. I took a couple days off work. I felt pretty awful. But it passed. So anyway, here's hoping that that's the last one. Sorry I had to miss last week. Wouldn't have been much of a stream with me in that state anyway. So glad we got together this time. If you're getting in anywhere after the first half hour, go ahead back and check out Mail Call. We got an item that was flown on Apollo 8, a piece of chicken. Just one piece of chicken, but still, it has been on the other side of the moon, 241,000 miles away from us. You know, and got a yellow HDR, complete to add to the collection finally, and got to take a look at these, or take a look at this Norwegian Arctic field ration, the chili with beans, or the vegan chili with beans. So it was a fun one. Also got in a box over here that I'm going to add into the museum the other Chinese paratrooper ration that I bought. Because whenever I get something new, I try to make a point to get enough, or get, you know, at least 2 of the thing. These weren't insanely cheap, so I didn't get 3, but I did get 2. So we've got a 3-part Chinese paratrooper ration that's going into the collection. There we go. So each one has a little check mark on it to indicate which of the 3 meals it is. So you see this one, this is the dinner. This big one is the lunch. And this other smaller one is the breakfast. So this was a great ration. I enjoyed this thing thoroughly. Like this was this was a treat. I ate the two smaller ones together, and I ate the bigger one on its own. So check out some recent streams for that one. Now it's a shame that these are all hole punched, but they're not necessarily gonna last forever anyway. They will need to be opened up at some point, but they contain these food bricks. These things were a great surprise. Usually the Chinese food bricks can be a little odd, a little drier than you might want, or kind of a mush. I don't know, kind of a bizarre cereal bar kind of taste to them. But in this case, it was shortbread. It was really nice. So thank you guys for joining in for the first stream back after a month, and hope to have some really fun stuff to show you in the next couple. So tune in next week. I will see you from my place. Going to be working with some 3D tech and hopefully have some cool stuff to show off. So until then, I hope all you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you again for all tuning in and for following through with the progress of the Ration Museum project. Thanks for joining us for Bulletin number 85, and I will see you next time with Bulletin number 86. And until then, everybody, just remember, stay Ration.